So let's take 5 years, 2028. What does the world look like? How will I interact with AIs? What will we all be doing and not doing?
Well, let's just look back over the last 10 years to get a sense of the trajectory that we're on and the incredible momentum that I think everybody can now see with the generative AI revolution. Over the last 10 years, we've become very, very good at classifying information. We can understand it, we sort it, label it, organize it. And that classification has been critical to enabling this next wave because we can now read the content of images, we can understand text pretty well, we can classify audio and transcribe it into text. The machines can now have a pretty good sense of the conceptual representations in those ideas. The next phase of that is what we're seeing now with the generative AI revolution. We can now produce new images, new videos, new audio, and of course, new language. And in the last year or so, with the rise of ChatGPT and other AI models, it's pretty incredible to see how plausible and accurate and very finesse to these new language models are. In the next 5 years, the frontier model companies, those of us at the very cutting edge who are training the very largest AI models, are going to train models that are over 1,000 times larger than what you currently see today in GPT-4. And with each new order of magnitude in compute, that is 10x more compute used, we tend to see really new capabilities emerge. And we predict that the new capabilities that will come this time over the next 5 years will be the ability to plan over multiple time horizons. Instead of just generate new text in a one shot, the model will be able to generate a sequence of actions over time. And I think that that's really the character of AI that we'll see in the next 5 years. Artificial capable AIs. AIs that can't just say things, they can also do things.
But what does that actually mean in practice? Just use your imagination. Tell me what my life will be like in 2028. How will I interact with them? What will I do? What will be different?
So I've actually proposed a modern Turing test, which tries to evaluate for exactly this point, right? The last Turing test simply evaluated for what a machine could say, assuming that what it could say represented its intelligence. Now that we're kind of approaching that moment where these AI models are pretty good, arguably they've passed the Turing test, or maybe they will in the next few years. The real question is, how can we measure what they can do? So I've proposed a test which involves them going off and taking a $100,000 investment, and over the course of 3 months, trying to set about creating a new product, researching the market, seeing what consumers might like, generating some new images, some blueprints of how to manufacture that product, contacting a manufacturer, getting it made, negotiating the price, drop shipping it, and then ultimately collecting the revenue. And I think that over a 5-year period, it's quite likely that we will have an ACI, an artificial capable intelligence, that can do the majority of that task autonomously. It won't be able to do the whole thing. There are many tricky steps along the way, but significant portions of that. It will be able to make phone calls to other humans to negotiate. It will be able to call other AIs in order to establish the right sequence in a supply chain, for example. And of course, it will learn to use APIs, application programming interfaces, so other websites or other knowledge bases or other information stores. And so, the world is your oyster. You can imagine that being applied to many, many different parts of our economy.